play professional baseball. So, they just love the game, and that's one of the things that keeps me going back. They're very open. They want me to share my faith when I go to do these clinics. They're very open to that part of it as well. They're extremely respectful to that part of my life, and they have. This is going to be a gigantic statement, and there's going to be people that won't believe this. But I have been in front of probably over 75,000 kids in the Dominican Republic since 2004. I've only seen one negative attitude.
Wow.
In all those years and all those people. They're just so respectful, and they want to learn. And that doesn't mean they're perfect or anything like that. It just means that they're coachable, they're hungry, and they're hungry in more ways than one.
We've said it on the show before many times, and we believe it. As a ball player or a business person, there's only two things you can really control. It's your attitude and your work ethic. So, one of our DBAT Elite summer teams was traveling in Atlanta at the Perfect Game compound. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to go down there. It's a beautiful facility. But they had an opportunity to play a Dominican team, and they saw firsthand, just the chatter in the dugout, the enthusiasm, the will to win, and just the gratitude, really, to be on a baseball field.
Yeah, that's right. It's there. And it's also very interesting, John. A lot of those players, not all of them, a lot of those players, when they make it to the major leagues, they sort of become Americanized. They sort of become more like us. But when you go down there, and I encourage people to go with me on one of these trips, you're going to see some kids come to the baseball field without a glove. And occasionally you'll see a kid come to a baseball field without any shoes. And many times you'll see a kid come to the baseball field wearing flip-flops because that's the only thing he has to put on his feet. And so anything that you do for them, they're appreciative. And so it's just a blessing to be able to go down and help those kids on the baseball field, but also do some projects down there. We feed entire villages. We built churches. We've started orphanages down there. We through baseball, we've just been able to. It's opened up a lot of doors so that we can not only teach baseball, but we can also serve down there. And it's been, and you've heard this many times, but when you do something like that, you go down to help people, but you're the one that becomes blessed. And that's been it's just been one of the neat things in my life to be able to be a small part of that.
Well, I'm confident that at least one of our listeners that's hearing this right now in their car or wherever they get their podcasts, on their iPhone or their computer, is going to get involved, and it's going to change a life. And that's the powerful thing about, reaching people through our voices. And what's so strong about that, Coach, is that you're reaching people that you never would have reached before, through baseball, but through a ministry. And it's just awesome, the work you're doing. And we'll put a lot of details about how people can get involved in the podcast notes. And when we release this podcast through our distribution channels, we'll put in there how they can get a hold of you, Score International, and get involved in this great opportunity.
That's awesome. I appreciate that very much. And I tell people all the time, if you go on one of those trips with Score International and you're disappointed, we'll refund your money, because we've never had anybody leave there saying, man, I'm sorry I did this. It's always like, I want to go back. And so we want to just keep doing that. And hopefully God will continue to use us in that way.
Coach, in our final minutes, I do want to talk about, you just got elected as the chairman of the board of the American Baseball Coaches Association, and we're excited. We've been involved with ABCA for a very long time. I've become friends with Jeremy Sheetinger, another Kentucky boy, and Andrew Bartman. We're doing some work with them here through DBAT and, promoting the Barnstormers clinics. For our listeners, the annual conference and convention is going to be right in our backyard this year, January 3rd through 6th. at gorgeous Grapevine, Texas, at the Gaylord Texan. I know you'll be there. Look forward to, if I don't meet you before that in person, we'll definitely connect in Grapevine, Texas. If you could tell our audience a little bit about the power of the conference and why coaches should attend.
I am the chairman of the board of that organization. We have about, I think, 10 or 11,000 members now, college coaches, high school coaches, international coaches, travel coaches. We all different levels of baseball. We have professional managers and coaches, too, that are a part of our organization. But Craig Kylitz is the executive director of the ABCA. He has done a phenomenal job. His father before him was the executive director, Dave Kylitz. These guys are just relentless in their desire to make this organization the best amateur baseball organization in the world. And we have the largest baseball clinic in the world, and like you said, it's going to be in Dallas in January, and there'll probably be 5,000 or 6,000 people there. There'll be tremendous speakers. It's a great place to gain knowledge. It's a great place to network. And if you have a business that's related to baseball, it's also a great place to exhibit your business.
DBAT will have a booth there.
Yeah, we have a huge exhibit hall where everybody from Rawlings to Louisville Slugger to you name it, Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, but also smaller companies that specialize in baseball. It's just fun for me to walk around and see all the new products and all the things that people have to offer. So it's really Sheets says this all the time. It's true. It's a piece of baseball heaven. If you love baseball, it's just I compare it to there's things in life you got to do if you love baseball. You got to go to Major League World Series game. You have to go to the College World Series in Omaha, and you have to go to an ABCA convention. And this year it's in Dallas. So it's just something that you won't regret. There's a lot of neat things going on in the ABCA right now. The magazine I publish, Inside Pitch, is a part of that. We're the official magazine of the ABCA. That's one of the benefits of being a member. You get that magazine, but you also get discounts on a lot of baseball-related things. So it's a great thing for coaches to be a part of.
I've got your magazine in my hand, and I've hit two of those three. I was able to go to a Rangers World Series game when the Texas Rangers were in it. I've obviously been to an ABCA, but I have not been to a College World Series game, so I need to do that as well.
Yeah, John, you do, because it's just they're all really, really neat experiences, and they're all very different. But when you leave them, you're thinking, man, I'm glad I did that, because it was a neat experience.
Coach, I'm going to bring up one of our mutual friends, Sheets. I was talking to him the other day, and I know he was a grad assistant at UK, but it was after you had retired. But he said you grabbed him in the hall, you made him late for one of his first meetings, and probably caused him to have a short-lived career at the University of Kentucky.
Yeah, Sheets he's one of my favorite people in the whole world, because there's not a project too big for Sheets to tackle. And he is one of the best people I've ever seen at connecting with people. When you talk to him, he's all in to what you're saying. I mean, he's just one of those people that has a gift to communicate. He has as much energy as anybody I've ever seen. And we're just thankful that he's a part of the American Baseball Coaches Association, because he just brings a lot to the table.
Coach, last thing, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I know you know this in your sleep. I had Sheets do it. I'm going to have you sing the UK fight song right here on the air. You ready? Here we go.
Hey, John, I would do a lot of things for you.
No, come on now. Hang on.
But that's probably not one of them, because
come on.
I don't even sing in church. I just move my lips. I just people around me think I'm singing, but they don't hear me because there's nothing coming out. But all I'm going to say is on UK.
There we go.
That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know if you can hear that. We've got it playing in the background for you, Coach. Well, folks, Coach Keith Madison.
One of the traditions, John, when we would come back from a road trip, when we would turn off of Nicholsville Road onto Cooper Drive on campus, every year the players on our team would start singing the fight song. And that's one of my great memories of coaching for 25 years, is hearing my team sing that fight song. And it just made that long trip back from Oxford or Starkville or Tuscaloosa, it just made it a little sweeter when I would hear my players sing the fight song. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, Coach, we covered a lot, and I know you've got to go, and I'd love to have you on again in the future to talk. We got a lot of stuff we can cover, but for our audience, hey, Coach Keith Madison, a legend of the game, thank you so much for joining us here on Behind the Dish.
Thank you, John.
I'm John Piper, your host of Behind the Dish. We want to thank you so much for tuning in and remind you can find us on any iOS device, your iPhone, your iPad, or iTunes, as well as Spreaker Radio. Just go to Spreaker.com and search Behind the Dish, and you can listen on your computer or any device, Android device as well. And you can also find us on SoundCloud. Search Behind the Dish. Make sure you share the broadcast to the baseball and softball community, and thank you for being a part of it.